Welcome to Tehachapod, the City of Tehachapi's podcast, where we share conversations with local leaders, business owners, and community members. Don't miss an episode. Be sure to follow and subscribe to learn something new and discover ways to get involved in our community. It's Tehachapod time. Key Budge, Greg Garret, Corey Costello. We got the gang together today.
Wow, you gave me a really big intro. That's awesome. I appreciate that.
The last time the three of us were on a podcast has been some time ago.
Right. It has been, and now we're in a podcast room that's being remodeled, and we can barely fit ourselves into this controlled chaos.
This thing's been being remodeled for 2 years. When are we going to finish the remodel here, Keith?
It's all about priorities.
We're budget conscious. I'm waiting for that double coupon to come out so I can buy the last of the
turning
equipment
into a federal project here real quick.
We're looking for a sponsor.
It is what it is. But I bet you the last time we were together, Richard Chapman was with us. And today, Richard Chapman, Barbara Miner join us, representing the Kern Economic Development Foundation. Richard, Barbara, welcome.
Great. Well, thank you. Barbara's a Tehachapi zone, right? So it's wonderful to have an East Kern
Thank you for having me.
employee. And she's our program manager at the foundation, doing an amazing job. And yeah, we're so happy to be here to talk about the upcoming Expo and many other events as well.
And Barbara, congratulations with joining the team here recently. So it's nice that now you get to come and you get to interact with us a little bit more. You're one of our planning commissioners, we must say.
That's right.
But now you get to interact with us in a different capacity, and we work very closely with the team at both the Kern EDC and EDF.
Well, hopefully you don't have to abstain from any discussions today due to your role on the planning commission.
When you build a really big STEM center here in Tehachapi, Richard, then she might have to abstain.
That's right.
Until that day comes, we're good.
And we've got the property for you, so we'll talk later.
We've got the space, my man. Absolutely.
I think we took care of Sarcoso right before I took the job. So.
That's right. All good.
Here we are in March. It's early March, but March is a big month for KEDF. You've got your STEM Expo that's coming up, and that's why we have you in to talk about that. I mean, it's something it does impact Tehachapi. It might be taking place in Bakersfield, but the students, the kids that live here, get a chance to participate.
And we've confirmed that with Tehachapi, is students, 150 from Tehachapi will be there.
That's right. And we picked up a few more exhibitors from Tehachapi this morning as well.
Great.
Yeah, the thing about the Expo is it's about STEM jobs throughout Kern County. And of course, we're in the land of innovation here. Look out our back door, we see the wind, we have the aerospace. We have natural resource based. And so our belief is that the whole county should be at the table. Exhibitors have free booths. You all have been a sponsor for many years. And so it's a celebration of the boundless opportunities for upward mobility here. And so the employers see the students, 3,500 students. That's the future workforce for them. And the students say, wow, look what's in Kern County. I had no idea this company was here. The world's largest airplane, or the steel mill, the wind and solar. So this is the key, is that day of discovery, or should I say morning of discovery. I haven't seen many people looking at their phones. They're just there to learn. And CTech is such a amazing jewel for our county.
And CTech is?
Career Tech, Technical and Education Center. Good point.
Yeah. But I know, Corey, Greg, we have a lot of conversations with different industry leaders here in East Kern. And one of the things they always talk about are recruitment for STEM jobs and the importance of having local.
Yeah, and we have I serve on the Career Technical Education Board with Tehachapi High School, and impressed by the students that when they present to us and the things they're coming up with. And it's amazing. I mean, when I was that age, I was like, when's the next Pearl Jam album coming out? But these kids are like building robots and stuff. Great teachers, great programs at the high school. So I'm glad they get an opportunity to take advantage of something like this and be a part of the STEM Expo, because they are, and this goes to Richard's sort of point for years, we're trying to keep those kids here. We want them to, obviously a lot of them are going to go to college, but we want them to come back. And hopefully they can go to college in the county and they don't have to go further, but sometimes they want to go, but then they come back because there is a job opportunity, and they know East Kern, or they know Kern County, so they feel more comfortable living here. So that's a really good pipeline to get the local kids tied into something like the STEM Expo.
I think the Expo is great. It's a one-stop shopping because the county of Kern is so large.
Right.
The youth in Roseman have a different view of the youth in Taft, right? And to your point, Richard, there's so many opportunities with STEM and being able to bring it all under one roof, if you will. And Tehachapi High School, Jacobson Junior High, I think you said this morning,
Yeah.
they're going to be participating. So it's just getting that exposure to those young men and women so they can start to learn like, wow, I didn't think about this, because someone in Roseman is thinking, Edwards Air Force Base,
Right.
and someone in Taft is thinking oil derricks, right? To make the point. And so now it's just exposure. which
Yeah,
is a
and
good
everything is within. Think about when the steel mill opens. I mean, that's really an hour away from Bakersfield. I mean, from you all, much closer. So we have to, right, what's beyond their backyard. These kids are having that, right? Their eyes are opening to these opportunities.
And that's a big technological job. I mean, it's not the steel mill that you're probably thinking of from the 60s and 70s in Pittsburgh. Like, this thing is a very technical, tons of machines, computers, there's a lot that goes into just operating, and turning that rebar out. It's a lot of tech involved in those jobs these days.
$1 billion project, micro mill, net zero. So that is going to be, right, this is advanced manufacturing, right? Not your fathers or grandfathers or grandmothers type of operation.
For these students to see the diverse STEM opportunities in Kern County, I think that really sets us apart from other counties as well.
Well, and let's say what STEM represents. We very easy. STEM has become a part of everyone's vernacular, but for those that may not know, it's
Science, technology, engineering, and
Math.
there we go, math.
no A.
No.
We hold the A in this conversation.
Yeah, there is debate. A is basically related to art. So is art architecture or design? But we have a pretty compact definition, because even nationally, internationally, just that STEM. Because Brookings Institution, one of the reasons, impetus for our foundation was the ranking where we were number 4 in the country for STEM jobs. And so that was eye-opening. I mean, think about it, versus Seattle, Boston. We actually were number 4 in the country. And those STEM jobs did not necessarily require a PhD or a 4-year degree. Those are great if you have the skill set, that degree. But the beauty of that study really was kind of earth-shattering in saying that all pathways can lead you to a good STEM job.
Well, California doesn't make it easy, that's for sure, to move forward with certain things, when you talk about innovation and different things. I know that the state of Ohio is really taking the lead in different area, medical and so on and so forth. And so we're competing with others for those, the education of the youth, the exposure, but also the prototyping and the manufacturing, all those different things. So really a base, something we're building off of, is this Expo. It's a great program.
Well, and you all were partnered on our one of our other foundation programs, KIC, Kern Intern Connections, where we pay our students from CTEC or ROC, which means Regional Occupation Center, with employment opportunities for paid internships. And again, these are STEM students. There's about 38 programs at CTEC ROC. And so I know you all had a great experience having somebody that had 500 hours of training, previous internships, paid or unpaid. And so we try to align that through our foundation with the KIC as well as the Expo. And then I should mention Kern High School District's our amazing partner with the Expo, 5 years running. And then we have a Women in STEM initiative where women are underrepresented in our county, 16% of women in the workforce, STEM workforce, versus 25% average in the U.S. So we're trying to provide those mentors for girls to pursue STEM careers.
And we had a young woman, Priscilla, who was fantastic, that you guys had recommended through the digital media side.
That's your intern, Key?
Yeah. And she was fantastic, integrated right into the team, incredibly mature. There was no task that she didn't want to participate in. And I think at the end, we ended up keeping her for an extra couple of weeks to end the summer. She was that integral, there's some things when you look at internships, you think, oh, well, they're a shadow and they follow. The way we used our intern, they were hands-on. We assigned projects to her and gave her that. She had the skill set, though. And I think that's the key, is who you provided for this program had a skill set. Those that you talk about the 500 hours in the program,
Right.
She understood the software that we use. So there wasn't a training aspect of let's get her up to speed.
Okay.
It was really she was very much a plug and play.
Well, and she traveled over 25 plus miles. So we talked about, we have a gas card for students that travel a certain amount of miles. And then, she had the soft skills, which were trained. They do mock interviews, they resume building. And so that was the key. And they're recommended by the teachers.
Right.
So, and the teachers at CTEC ROC, many people don't realize, are from industry. They actually worked in the private sector, right? And many of these in the programs that they train, which is, I think, a great add-on.
So if there's any businesses listening, don't be afraid of that program and that word an intern, not sure. She was definitely a high caliber. We couldn't have asked for someone better to come along. And then if you're a student or a parent of a student age, to get involved in that.
Yeah, we're very grateful to, we have corporate, the Bank of America, Chevron, Bank of Sierra. So they're providing the funding for the, wages to offset the cost for the employers.
That was 50% of the salary was taken care of. It was great.
It's a great program. Back to the expo real quick. So you have lots of kids coming from different school districts, and you have exhibitors. Is this open to the public? Or maybe we can talk a little more about the details when it comes to this expo. So how does it work? Who's attending? How long does it take place? Where does it take place? All of those things.
Right. So this is our 5th year, and we used to have a symposium, and then the high school district had their career expo. So coming out of COVID, we basically, the concept, which our former chair, Mark Wyatt, with the adult school, said, well, why don't we marry the two events? And CTEC, remember, opened during COVID in 2020. So once we came out of COVID, that was the wonders of this was to have this half day of discovery from 8:30 to 1. Primarily, the audience are students and employers. Is it open to public? Well, that would have to be a registration, but in general, it's dignitaries would have been invited, of course. But in general, it's just for the students and the employers. We have not just private sector, but we have, at CSUB, we have Bakersfield College,
Every
Taft College.
educational entity is represented. It's great.
Right. So also the students see, okay, I want to work for this employer, but I need to get maybe an industrial automation degree at Bakersfield College, which they have a 4-year BA. Taft College has, it's called Allied Health, where they provide internships with healthcare entities for their students. So that's the other important part is to see not just the private sector, but the educational pathways that exist in that morning event.
Yeah, and those pathways too. I mean, you mentioned earlier, not all these jobs require 4-year degrees. All of them are just sometimes a certificate that you can get from Saracoso, Bakersfield College. And so it's good for the kids to understand that. And again, if it's all available locally, they don't have to go outside of the area to get that training. And it's even nice too, where you don't necessarily, sometimes you'll be hired and then you'll be able to continue your education in the nights, that sort of thing, which is what Saracoso does a great job here in Tehachapi of doing, and around East Kern, and then the other obviously educational institutions do as well. So it's kind of changed the workforce a little bit now. You can kind of go right out of high school into some of these positions and then keep your training going.
Well, and we think about oil and gas, where the beauty of oil and gas was you could make 6 figures with a high school degree. Mm-hmm. And so that's the challenge now is we need to make sure that we call it light blue collar jobs, where can we still have this opportunity for 6-figure jobs. And many of these students at CTEC, when they graduate, will make 6 figures and not have significant debt.
Yeah, that's the other part.
So one of the programs I really like, I mentioned it before we started recording, that CTEC has is the entrepreneur program. They'll have booths this year selling their own products and highlighting their own business. It's great.
Well, and I think the intern you had she was, as much as she loved working at the city, in her heart, she wanted to be an entrepreneur, right?
Correct. Yeah. As I had conversation with her at a certain point about whether or not we might have opportunities, didn't have anything like, she goes, I'm not looking to work here. She was using us to gain intelligence on running her own business and getting a chance to interact, because she was so hands-on and saw how we did our marketing and interact with the community. She said it was, for her, it was another kind of a classroom setting to learn for what she wants to do and run her own business.
Yeah. And so that's the thing with intern, and we could do another show on what was your first internship, because I think we all have stories how maybe that started a career within that
News
sector.
8 investigators in San Diego.
Oh, that was your
mine.
first?
Fantastic internship too. To Key's point earlier, I mean, they walked in and I'm doing some, kind of remedial intern task, and one of the reporters goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm like logging film." And she's like, "Put that up. You want to do it the rest of the time? No, you don't want to do that. Throw that away. Here, I got stuff for you." And it was great, like hands on. It was awesome. Yeah.
So we're still trying to figure out what you do here at the city center.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
if somebody figures it out, let me know.
Yeah, exactly. What are you working on? I had to work on that. Work on something different.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's this time of discovery, and I do see like when you mentioned Pearl Jam, like some of these kids, I can't believe they already have their future career mapped out at 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
I was probably building forts in my backyard backyard or something.
So true.
Exactly. No, and this happened. I mean, I have a nephew who jumped into a job at Rio Tinto pretty much right out of high school, about 8 months after. He's doing fantastic there. And so that was a perfect sort of, and his job too is there's a lot of tech and involved in what he's doing at Rio Tinto, and they're training him as well and sending him off to do additional training. So yeah, a great success story of someone local.
Yeah, and one thing I hear is the Z generation. I guess I'm I'm born in 66, so is that X?
X.
Gen X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gen X. You and I are Gen X. Richard.
Okay.
I just barely made it. but I'm
Barely.
Gen
I
X.
made the cutoff in 1980. I'm right there. Yeah.
And they say Z, though, they're motivated. You mentioned wages, their career, and they're motivated by lifestyle. So if I learned that with my daughter, I'd say, hey, what lifestyle do you want? And they'll say, oh, I want a house. I want to live in a city. And then you say, well, by the way, here's the jobs you need to afford that lifestyle. But if you just start out of the gate with a lot of kids and say, well, you need to have a career, that may not be the motivation that they need, but the lifestyle. So, I want to live on the beach in Malibu. Well, you're with 6 people, 3 jobs.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
I just want to be an influencer.
Right, exactly.
I still don't know what that means.
My kid went from influence, YouTube star to now it's professional wrestler. So we're working our way up.
There you go.
We're working our way up the ladder.
So he'll be a fireman by the time he gets
Exactly.
into
Yeah, exactly. It'll change next year.
I love that.
It's great to see the transition.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, there is that definitely lifestyle. Money is important, but they want, if you motivate them on how to get to that point, what it takes to get to that point, that tends to help.
Work
for sure.
to live or live to work. I mean, we were pretty much told, like, we're going to have to work as hard as before. But they're more into the balance, right?
Yeah.
That work-life balance. And that's okay, right? But that's why we're trying to have them pursue STEM jobs, because that will give them that chance.
We try that here, but our boss is just really tough on us. We try work-life balance. It's just work all the time.
Greg.
Yeah, my ringtone, as we heard earlier. If I call you, that means you better darn
Exactly.
answer.
It's so hard.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about some of the vendors. I say vendors, but the booths, the exhibitors,
there you
if you will.
Yeah.
Give us a couple examples of who
Yes,
might be there.
You have the list,
SoCal
right?
Gas has 3 spots: an indoor exhibit, outdoor. They have 2 more. They really like to show off all of the things that they do. So we've got MB with Rio Tinto is making slime with her borax.
Nice.
Yeah, the Key's interactive, right? So, having like a Pacific Steel, we have them. We hope to have Strata launch back, because the more interactive, the better. I think, does Rio Tinto have like slime or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I grew up with slime, but
ingredients.
probably different.
There you go.
150 exhibitors this year, 3,500 students, and quite a few schools represented.
Yeah, and think of the mix. So, like our EDC, the goal is focused on these jobs like advanced manufacturing, aerospace, ag. We have, I know, Grimway and others there.
Correct.
Wonderful. Energy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Logistics, healthcare. We want to make sure to have all, obviously oil and gas, but obviously renewable, having those, 2 sides of the coin.
It's funny with just STEM opportunities. There is not a career field that STEM doesn't come across. The more we do the podcast, and I've said this before, the more we learn about the science that's involved in these different fields that I maybe spent 10 minutes thinking about in my lifetime, and then all of a sudden we have a conversation. I'm like, I had no idea.
Working fast food requires almost a technology degree now. It is amazing behind the counter at McDonald's of everything. I mean, I think there were space shuttles that had fewer computers than what McDonald's has behind it.
Well, that's probably
because
true.
it's all, there's GIS-based stuff and locations if you're doing mobile ordering. And I mean, it's impressive. And you really need to understand even tech just to work in fast food.
Well, you're talking about science, of course. I'm thinking about fresh water and wastewater.
Right.
If you want to learn science, you want to be baffled and amazed, go out to our wastewater treatment plant, look under a microscope, and how we manage. Maybe next year, the city of Tehachapi does a freshwater/wastewater type thing. Those are amazing jobs, right?
Yeah.
And it's science-based.
Geology,
The
water
plant
tables.
has to be, balanced with all kinds of things, and it's something you don't think about. You turn on a tap, you get fresh water. You take a shower.
Take for granted, right?
You take it for granted, and that's okay, because that means we're doing our job. but there's a lot of science behind that. So maybe next year I'll sign us up. Who knows?
That'd be
Maybe, I don't
right.
know. Key and Corey, you want to go do that?
Well,
or-
here's
So
fine.
It's like a
So,
utilities question.
Yesterday, I had a conversation with Nick Tanaka from my team, and he wants to do a micro dirty jobs. And,
okay.
follow-
Talked
and
about
we
that,
talked
yeah.
about wastewater, water, and then we started talking about the science and, looking under that microscope and seeing these little microbes, the balance that has to take place for wastewater to be treated. Things that you don't think about as long as it leaves the house when you want it to leave the house,
Ultraviolet
right?
filtration
Yeah.
and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I just learned about chlorine, that if you're swimming in a pool and the chlorine smell is very strong, that actually means the pool is very dirty.
Right.
That's
It's
exactly
reacting.
It's a
to-
reaction with various
Correct.
elements.
Yep.
So now I have a different perspective next time I swim.
Yeah, it used to be you smell the chlorine, you're like, oh yeah, this is a clean pool.
so
no,
fresh.
this is a nasty pool.
Chevron's going to be out there with quite a lot. We've got California Resources, PG&E will be out there. A lot of other groups, you guys, a lot of other groups.
Yeah,
know you-
Chevron's our presenting sponsors. You mentioned they've been the presenting sponsor, I think, since the inception of this event.
So
Right.
it's not open to the public, but since I'm a board member of KEDC,
Yes, you
will
are.
I get a
And you're a
ticket to get
sponsor
in, and then I can
through your,
I'll report back to you guys on where our booth location is going to be next year, and we'll get a nice corner.
We've
so that
had
we can high
discussions,
visibility.
Greg. We've had discussions about having a booth this year at it, and I know we still have some time. But I've been talking with the team. We're looking at some time management, whether or not we want to the city to be represented there. And since you guys were able to confirm today that there is still a space available,
Until the 16th, right?
right?
We do have 2 cities signed up, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We'd love to have the city.
Oh, so who
Yeah.
are we competing with? Who are the other
I think it was
cities?
at Wasco and
Yeah.
McFarland. But what tchotch? You have
All right.
tchotchkes to give away?
I've got all my patriotic. I've got patriotic items
American flag
everywhere.
pins,
It is the
yeah.
250th anniversary of America, so we absolutely do.
I think we'll wait till next year because I want to have an interactive type display.
Well, you
Something
could bring
that we-
this podcast there.
Yeah.
We
There
talked
you go.
about that actually, doing it offsite, interview some of the exhibitors and our kids coming through.
And showing them how to do it. I mean, it is a part of that program. And with the digital media, those kids would get a hands-on opportunity to see how it's done.
Well, and I'd
So-
love, so our KIC program, the kids actually, we had a competition. So the concept was we need an internship program paid. So we went to the digital media marketing design, Walter Suazo teaches, and we had a competition to create a logo, tagline, and as well as campaign. So the students came up with the logo, Kickstarting Careers, KIC. And so we awarded the winning students a check. I mean, when you look at that logo,
I love it.
I mean, it looks like we spent tens
does.
of thousands of dollars. And so any company, organization can go to the school and do the same.
So you use child labor to do
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and here's something I learned. Nike's logo, the swoosh,
Yes.
that was an intern designed it. $35 is what
Wow.
that cost them. Now, they went back and they did them right and gave them stock options later
Right.
and took care of them. But an intern created Nike's brand that still stands today.
It's pretty cool.
I love that. Well, a little plug for our interns that 70% who are paid interns will stay and get hired. And another 70 will be there in 5 years after.
Yeah. That's a retention, and some students say, "Hey, thank you. I have other plans," but
Right.
this experience will always stay with them.
It was a great program for us to be a part of, and we had the right person to, because it was the first time that we participated in an intern program in probably a number of years, if at all, and it just everything worked out perfect. So we
glad.
couldn't speak higher.
Wow.
And the coordination with your team, okay, that played an integral part of it too, because they said if there's any issues or problems, you need to let us know.
We
and
we have these wraparound services,
Right.
and well, this has set the expectations really high for the next intern.
It
I'm
is,
kind
yeah.
of concerned because the first year Priscilla's such a rock star.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have the next intern on the show, and they're going to be the best ever, right?
Right, and we did. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, when
That's great.
we I think the last time that you were here, we were with the foundation. We had Priscilla come on.
Yes.
I think she joined us for the end of that episode. Yeah,
I'm curious, as this advances every year, how much more you've seen with the STEM Expo and these companies presenting. How much has AI stuff sort of filtered in?
That's a
towards their operations and even just the future, what a lot of these companies are doing.
Yeah, that's what we talked about our foundation. What should we do in the AI realm in terms of education, promotion, and also talking to CTech or see their programs, how have they adopted AI? I mean, what we have seen is IT now is IT was not originally in the areas of
Right.
where we would offer students, but now I know you took an IT student in digital media marketing, so that's what that's really exploded on the IT side. And then again, we've added logistics where we have logistics centers that are almost all automated.
Right. Yeah. And efficiency modeling and that kind of stuff is all generated by AI and that sort of thing. So.
I mean, they will have robots there. Spot, they have 2 robots, so
Okay.
they're pretty intimidating. Boston Dynamics.
I heard we're all supposed to, in the next 20 or so years, we'll all have a robot assistant in our house. That's what I'm hearing.
No, I heard that in the next 3 or 4.
Okay, good.
Literally.
Because I got chores for that. I got a
can't
list
wait.
already.
I'm
Me
sick and
neither.
tired of taking out the garbage.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. As long as it doesn't murder me in my sleep. But other than that, I'll take that chance.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing. Some people say, well, in 15, 20 years, no one will have to have a full-time job because of AI, and I'm still trying to grasp.
I mean-
First of all, I'd be bored out of my life.
Yeah.
But have you seen some of these forecasts?
Oh yeah, and been doing a lot of AI stuff here recently. Worked with some folks for the International City County Managers Association on some AI stuff, and part of that was we were building a tool to help evaluate AI technologies for your organization. And kind of interview it like we did employee. We wanted to host that tool on the web. Well, I just had AI write the code for me. I know HTML code, but I didn't want to code it. So I just said, here's my data. Here's what I want this website to look like.
And you
Please
thought-
write me the HTML code.
Greg
They
thought
did
that
it.
was Corey's best work he'd ever seen.
No, it's not going to him.
No,
No, you
don't
gave
worry.
out the-
I know exactly
And
what
on
he's
top
able
of that,
to do and not do.
yeah. And on top of that, we're working with, we're going to be doing a video presenting that, but we're not going to be in the video. AI is doing the video. So we've actually working with one of the folks is with the city of Austin, and they have AI videos as part of their community engagement team. And we sat down with them, and they presented these different talking heads, and you want a person to look like this, you want the voice to sound like this. We wrote the script, and he spit out some examples, and it's amazing.
Well, and
what
that's
it's
why
doing.
yesterday we had a healthcare summit, and AI was the discussion about the future of healthcare and AI. Although I was at the dentist the other day, and they said, "Oh, we're using AI version 3." I'm like, I don't think I have 8 cavities. And then they said, no, you really have 2, but the AI says future cavities. So
Correct. It does that, yes.
So I'm like, I'm paying for the 2 cavities, not the 8 cavities.
It does that medical-wise,
right. Have you
medical
seen
will take it.
That sounds like upselling to me.
A little bit,
Right?
yeah.
I even change your dentist.
But I mean, it really is. It does that in the medical field because it can analyze results of tests unlike the human can, and it can find maybe indicators, cancer, you name it, down the line that they'll see a trend moving towards a certain direction and cut it off at the pass before you get to that point.
We can't forget
very interesting.
it's just a tool, right? If we rely 100%, there are movies out there, RoboCop, and go on and on,
Terminator.
whatever,
Ex Machina.
AI
the
is
Tom Cruise where they had the precog that
Yeah.
arrested people before they committed the crimes.
Yeah,
But
it's
now there's
just
a Brad
simply a
Pitt
tool.
fighting with
But
Tom
that
Cruise.
same movie, I think it was the same movie where that guy walked into the store and all the ads changed to what he liked.
Right.
We already pretty much have that.
Well, my
Now,
phone does that all
Your
the time.
phone, that's what I'm
It
saying.
does.
We don't have that in the retail store per se yet, but that's happening when you shop online. Then all the ads are basically right to what you have been thinking about.
There's
And
a-
that was in one of those movies,
Well,
Oh,
I
the
heard-
signal lights, when I'm coming up, turn green.
Greg
is it-
wants green.
Greg's
Greg
here.
prefers
Why
green.
is it, I prefer green over red all day long.
There's a utility company in Utah that when you call, they play the music that they know your age. So when you're waiting, they're playing the music from when you were 16.
No way.
Yeah. So I mean,
I like
That's
that.
next level.
I
See,
know it, right?
that-
Some
that
REO
increases-
Pearl
Speedwagon
Jam.
or something,
Right, exactly.
so you're not as mad waiting, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Versus
Hall &
if you
Oates
have
is on
elevator
again.
music.
Greg's calling.
Maybe you could do that for the city, right?
This is technology, and
I wanted to say Dr. Harper yesterday mentioned that CSUB's signing an MOU with another larger research university to have their students practice using AI to personalize medicine, actual pharmacological elements. It's amazing. So
yeah, I literally used ChatGPT to give me a chicken recipe last night. So much easier than looking at it online. You just tell, I got this, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, well, here's a great recipe you can
Del
make.
Taco drive-thru is just as easy.
Well,
Easier.
Pretty soon the AI is going to know when your car pulls up, your order's going to flash
order's
on the
already ready.
screen. It's ready to go.
I actually was when I was getting ready for that event yesterday. I had my jacket, and I said, "Does this?" I took a photo of my tie with the jacket, and I said, "Is this coordinated, color coordinated?" And this one was, this one wasn't.
That's what I always ask my wife every morning. Does this look all right? 9 times out of 10, she's like,
That's great.
no, and she'll get something.
Yeah, I didn't have to wake my wife up, so it was like
There you
6 in
go.
the morning.
So this stuff obviously is going to more and more get into the STEM areas, and it sounds like it already is. So,
But I would argue, and the thing, like we have AS has Maximo that is AI enabled solar power, and so instead of having you lift that 150-pound solar panel, 2 million, what have you,
Right.
they actually have this robot that installs places and bolts them in, and that creates more jobs. So the fear of AI eliminating jobs, we're seeing, well, actually, you just have to write your skill set. You need
Yeah,
to.
I don't think it's eliminating anything. I
Right.
think it's creating more opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, like you take a picture of a check now and it's automatically deposited. You know, AI is everywhere, but it's also creating all kinds of new, innovative, exciting careers.
yeah, and it's a value proposition too. You wouldn't want to necessarily say, for our example, we wouldn't want to replace folks at the front counter because we want that human interaction. Even though, we could maybe do and make it a chat bot online, but we don't. You don't want that. You know, it's always kind of a value. How valuable is it to you?
Yeah, it's like, do
organization?
we want a bank branch? Because if there is an issue, if you're on phone tree hell, right?
Right.
That is not fun. And you're
Not at
screaming
all.
like, yes, 8 times.
Operator,
Representative.
Customer service.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about the STEM Expo, and I know you guys have been hosting for how many years again?
It's the 5th year.
Fifth
and
year.
The only variable that is out of our control is the weather. I think last year was perfect. Year before it was over 100. So that's the only thing that we're not sure of. But it's such a beautiful venue, and it's inspiring, right?
Yeah.
And
A lot of good work going down there.
yeah, so it's all about collaboration. So we appreciate your support and hope to see you there.
For sure. I'm intrigued about the podcast down there. I'm trying to figure out how we could do that. Would it be multiple podcasts? Would it be one long YouTube thing? Maybe we just figured that out.
Well,
And-
it
and
could
would
be
you-
both. So we could do both. You could do a video adaptation of you're recording the entire as we go, but we could create mini pods, you know, with the guests that come on and kind of show them and have the laptop and show how we can break it down and, you know, cut it into pieces.
And the noise,
So-
that you know, everyone around. Would you have to be kind of behind some plexiglass or something, or how
No,
would you?
That
no?
adds to the,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Okay.
all that natural sound just
okay.
adds to it.
It's like Saturday football. What do they call?
Game day.
Oh, yeah.
Game
yeah,
day.
It's like
Right.
game day. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mean you want some? And we've had at least 2 trains roll by while we've been talking.
3, I've counted.
Okay, yeah.
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 And it's part of what it is.
That would
you
be
know?
great. And then talk to the employers and then the students.
We could do several, you know, one with oil and gas,
Yes.
one with renewables, one with, you know,
Oh, absolutely.
minerals, and then aerospace. We could do 4 or 5, actually.
Oh, we could create content for Tehachapod, but also have that interactability with the students to show them what they could do. There are opportunities for them, but we also could create our own content to come back with.
It'd be fun. We should.
I think you guys covered it too. Every child right now wants to be an influencer.
Right.
They see this microphone, they'll just be drawn to it.
Oh yeah, it definitely is not like it was when we were kids.
Right.
You know, they are attracted to different things, and a part of it is that, you know, well, can it be used on YouTube? Well, heck yeah, it can.
That's right.
You know, so
I think we had 4 channels. So that's why, what was the option? Go outside and play, right?
right.
So the good thing about this is it's very organic. So as I said, kids aren't looking at their phones. So that's get them away from the smartphone. All of us use but get everybody away from the smartphone and have this 4 or 5 hours of exploration.
March 26th.
March 26th. Let me ask you this. So the students that are coming from Tehachapi, are they signing up through the school? Is it a school field trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're working with the Kern High School District. So we have a planning committee, which is obviously not just KDF, but with high school district, we have ETR, superintendent of schools, TAF. We have all the great coalition that's working to make sure this event goes out with the edge. But
Are there any homeschool, or are we just dealing with the?
there are 1 or 2. So I'd love to give a shout out to Brian Miller, who's the principal, and Aaron Hodson. I mean, without them, this would not be possible. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, they coordinate on the school side. But I believe last year there was 1 or 2 homeschooled.
Yeah, there's a lot of people always behind the scenes that are heavy lifting.
Yes.
So thank you to all of them.
And then for businesses that are interested in participating, becoming an exhibitor, how do they go about doing that?
KEDF.org.
Okay.
And it's free. That's why we want everybody to just sign up. And again, they won't regret it. It's a great morning.
And then if businesses are also interested in maybe the KIC program, the intern program that we talked quite a bit about, same kedf.org.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, anything that we haven't talked about?
I will say the Kern County Economic Summit, as we just started planning for that. That's with the KEDC, CSUB, and Bakersfield Chamber. And the obligation's always to cover the whole county. You remember last year we're at CSUB, and this year we'll be at the Marriott. But the direction, we're going to have a couple of panels. One will be aerospace, ag tech, and then we wanted to have an entertainment or recreation one. So stay tuned for that. You know, obviously you guys we have Hard Rock, we have Wine Region, we have Lightning in a Bottle. I know you're signed up for that this year. And then we have the track, Raceway. There's great things happening at Kevin Harvick's Raceway.
Yeah. So we'll have you back out because we definitely want to continue our media relationship with KEDC and KEDF. So whether we do a promo for it or we do a wrap up and talk about it after the fact, those are the kind of two directions we like to see which way you want to go. We'll look forward to that too. Discussion in a few weeks.
Wonderful, wonderful. Busy cycle, but we're excited that we're a community where people want to network, much like your GTEDC. This is what's happening. So I'm glad Barbara was there to represent us this morning at 6:30.
Oh,
no,
great room. Really, I mean that.
It's great collaborations. It's opportunities. I was talking with Cal Rossi from Southern California Edison, and Cal was mentioning, he goes, your community here is so unique because everyone there's positivity, but there's interaction. It's not the hold it to your vest. It's like, how can we work together? Where's the opportunity, regardless of what business you're in? Is there an opportunity for us to work together?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to having lunch in town right now.
Very nice. And Barbara, congratulations on the new position.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take this guy out to Four Seasons for some tacos.
Oh, there you go.
Very good.
Nice.
All right, folks. Well, Corey, anything in closing?
Nope, all good. Always happy to see Richard and really excited that Barbara's on the team.
Yeah. If there is any question based on today's conversation, you can shoot us an email, media@TehachapiCityHall.com. You can go to kedf.org, get the information regarding the STEM Expo coming up on March 26th. The deadline is coming up. Or if you want to be a part of the KIC program, find out more about it, participate, kedf.org. All right, folks, we catch you again soon right here on Tehachapod. We appreciate your time.
You've been listening to Tehachapod. If you have a question, a thought, or a suggestion, email media@TehachapiCityHall.com. We'll catch you again soon right here on Tehachapod.